Bonds have become an integral part of California's finances. Since 1970, Californians have authorized almost $130 billion in general obligation bonds. $54 billion have been authorized since 2006, $33 billion remaining unissued. It will cost the state nearly $135 billion to repay outstanding GO bond debt over the next 30 years. This figure does not count for presently authorized but unissued bonds nor future authorization of bonds. Debt service has become a significant cost to the general fund. In 2003-04, debt service accounted for 3.4% of the general fund. It's now more than doubled in 2010-11 to 7.1% of the general fund. And the Treasurer projects debt service will constitute 7.8% of the general fund this year. The huge sums of GO bond revenues create innumerable opportunities for, yes, waste, fraud, and abuse by administering entities. Department of Finance audits have revealed many deficiencies in the accounting procedures utilized by administrating entities, which in some cases have resulted in overpayment of bond monies. It's imperative we take whatever steps possible to prevent such fiscal irresponsibility. Example 1, 2008 finance audit of the California Tahoe Conservancy found that bond fund expenditure oversight was impaired by inadequate accounting procedures as well as vague agency policies. However, the most troubling aspect of this audit was that many of the deficiencies had been noted previously in an earlier finance audit, yet the Conservancy took zero corrective actions. Example 2, 2009 audit of Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy found inadequate tracking of project costs, vague descriptions in progress reports and expense claims, and unreported project funding sources. And there's other examples. There's no mechanism in California law to compel the correction of misspent bond monies. SB 633 addresses this problem by granting such corrective authority to the Department of Finance. Where a finance audit has found deficiencies in the administration of bond funds, DOF shall detail a corrective action plan. This action plan shall include a deadline for implementation. Where the administrating agency fails to implement the corrections to the satisfaction of the Department of Finance, Finance shall have the authority to issue an order to cease and desist all administration of bond money. We owe it to the California taxpayers to ensure their money is spent efficiently and that those who handle their money, in this case in the form of revenue from bond sales, that there must be greater accountability. Though this bill has been defanged a bit, it's not as strong as it was, it's still an important first step and will help get a measure of responsibility and accountability that I believe is necessary. So I request an aye vote.